title Break holds multiple layers of meaning, symbolizing the emotional and thematic essence of the poem. 1. Relentlessness of nature. The repetition of the word break mirrors the continuous breaking of waves on the seashore. This imagery conveys the constancy of nature, contrasting with the transience of human life and relationships. The unending motion of the sea symbolizes the passage of time, which moves forward regardless of human suffering. 2. Expression of emotional pain. The repetition in the title also reflects the poet's deep anguish and emotional turmoil. The word break could signify the breaking of the poet's heart due to the loss of a loved one. It captures his yearning for release from the pain of grief, which feels as relentless as the crashing waves. Irreparable loss. Break can also suggest a fracture or separation, aligning with the poet's sense of disconnection from his past and the irretrievability of cherished moments. It emphasizes the idea that once something precious is broken, be it a bond, a life, or a moment, it can never be restored. 4. Cyclic nature of life and sorrow. The repetition suggests a cyclic pattern, much like the ebb and flow of the waves. It indicates that life, with its joys and sorrows, continues in an unending loop, even as individual moments and lives fade into the past. The title encapsulates the themes of loss, grief, and the inexorable passage of time, serving as a powerful emotional overture to the poem. First stanza. Break, on thy cold gray stones, O sea. And I would that my tongue could utter the thoughts that arise in me. The poet addresses the sea, observing its ceaseless waves, crashing against the cold gray stones. This relentless motion symbolizes the unchanging flow of time. The poet, however, feels emotionally overwhelmed and unable to articulate the deep sorrow that consumes him. His grief is so profound that it renders him speechless, yearning to express the thoughts and feelings arising within him. Second stanza. Oh, well for the fisherman's boy, that he shouts with his sister at play. Oh, well for the sailor lad, that he sings in his boat on the bay. In this stanza, the poet contrasts his personal sorrow with the joy and liveliness of the world around him. He observes the carefree laughter of the fisherman's boy and his sister as they play, as well as the cheerful sailor singing in his boat. These images of happiness and normalcy highlight the poet's emotional isolation and emphasize the depth of his grief. Third stanza. And the stately ships go on to their haven under the hill, but oh, for the touch of a vanished hand, and the sound of a voice that is still. Here, the poet notes the majestic ships sailing towards their destinations, symbolizing the continuous movement of life. However, amidst this motion, the poet remains fixated on his loss. He longs for the touch of a vanished hand and the sound of a voice that is still, expressing his deep yearning for a loved one who has passed away. The imagery underscores the permanence of death and the irreplaceable nature of personal connections. Fourth stanza. Break, at the foot of thy crags, O sea. But the tender grace of a day that is dead will never come back to me. The poem concludes with a return to the sea's ceaseless breaking waves. The sea's relentless motion mirrors the poet's inescapable sorrow. He laments the loss of the tender grace of a day that is dead, symbolizing the beautiful moments and relationships of the past that can never be reclaimed. The final lines highlight the inevitability of loss and the poet's inability to move beyond his grief. Summary of Break. Alfred Lord Tennyson's Break is a lament for lost love and irretrievable moments. The poet reflects on his deep sorrow as he watches the waves breaking on the cold gray stones. While the world around him continues with its lively rhythm, such as children playing and ships moving, he mourns the absence of a loved one's touch and voice. The poem expresses the permanence of loss and the impossibility of recapturing past joys. MCQs with answers. 1. What does the poet address in the poem? A. The mountains. B. The sea. C. The sky. D. The river. Answer B. The sea. 2. What does the poet mourn in the poem? A. His lost wealth. B. The death of a loved one. C. The beauty of the sea. D. The passage of time. Answer B. The death of a loved one. 3. Who does the poet mention as playing happily? A. Fisherman. B. Fisherman's boy and his sister. C. Sailor lad and the fisherman. D. Children on the hill. Answer: B. Fisherman's boy and his sister. 4. What does the poet long for? A. The sound of waves. B. The touch of a vanished hand. C. The beauty of the ships. D. The joy of singing. Answer: B. The touch of a vanished hand. 5. What does the sea symbolize in the poem? A. Eternity and constancy. B. Joy and freedom. C. Chaos and unpredictability. D. Anger and wrath. Answer: A. Eternity and constancy. Short answer questions. What is the central theme of the poem? The central theme of the poem is the permanence of loss and the irretrievability of cherished moments. Tennyson reflects on the unchanging nature of the sea while mourning a loved one whose presence and grace he deeply misses. The poet contrasts his grief with the cheerful surroundings, such as the fisherman's boy playing with his sister and the sailor lad singing. These scenes of joy amplify his sense of loss and isolation. 3. Why does the poet repeat the phrase break, break, break? The repetition emphasizes the relentless, unchanging nature of the sea, symbolizing the constancy of his sorrow. It mirrors the poet's inability to express the depth of his grief in words. 4. What does the line, "the touch of a vanished hand," signify? This line signifies the poet's longing for a lost loved one. It symbolizes the irretrievable physical connection and emotional bond that he deeply yearns for, but can never regain. 5. How does the poet use imagery to convey his emotions? The poet uses vivid imagery such as cold gray stones and stately ships to depict the external world and juxtaposes it with his inner turmoil. These images evoke the contrast between the enduring natural world and the transient nature of human life and joy. Thank you for watching. To continue receiving high-quality content, like this video, subscribe to the channel, share with someone who'll benefit.